Hello friends, welcome to Bootstrap 5 video tutorials series. In the previous video tutorials, we understood what is Bootstrap. We also understood how to download the jQuery library, Popper.js library, as well as Bootstrap framework. In this video tutorial, we are going to understand how to add Bootstrap to our website. First, we create a root folder. So I am going to create one new folder here and I name this as my website. Whenever we create a new website, we create a root folder for it where we are going to put all the resources, right? So I just created one root folder called as my website. Okay. Next, inside the root folder, paste the jQuery, Popper and Bootstrap folders. So I am going to copy these three folders from here and paste them inside my website folder, guys. Simple. Next step is to create an HTML document with basic structure of HTML5 document code. So this is the basic structure of HTML5 document code. I'm going to copy this and I search for the notepad. In the notepad, I'm going to paste that code and I'm going to save it. Just file, save as. I save the file inside my website folder with the name default.html. Both sides I put double quotations and say save. And you can see the title is set to Bootstrap demo. Okay. I minimize it. You can see default.html page is created. Right click on it, say open with the Google Chrome. You can see default.html page is open in the Chrome. Title is set to Bootstrap demo. Very good. Next step, we make the HTML page mobile friendly. So for that, we add meta name viewport, content width equal to device width, initial scale equal to 1.0 to this head section, where width equal to device width sets the width of the HTML page to width of the device screen, guys. And initial scale 1.0 sets the zoom level of HTML page to 1 when it is first loaded. So I am going to copy this from here and paste it in the head section, guys. By adding this code, our page becomes mobile friendly. Good. Next, we link the bootstrap.min.css file. For that, I take help of the link tag because it's a CSS file. href bootstrap/css/bootstrap.min.css relationship style sheet. I minimize it. Here in the Bootstrap folder, we have CSS folder. In the CSS folder, we have bootstrap.min.css file. We are linking this file, guys. So what I do, I am going to copy this line of code from here and paste it in the head section. Now we have linked the bootstrap.min.css file to our HTML page. We have to test whether the bootstrap.min.css is properly linked or not. That's a next step. Test whether bootstrap.min.css properly linked to the HTML page. For that, I am going to create one input button here. I say input type is equal to button and the value I set here HTML and then I say close. If I say file, save, go to browser and refresh, you see we are getting some normal button here. Okay, we can make it good looking with the help of predefined classes that are available inside the bootstrap.min.css file, guys. So what I do here, I say here class, I use the btn class and btn-primary primary class. If I say file, save, go to browser and refresh, you can see that we are getting some nice good looking blue color button. Why we are getting this blue color button? Because of these two classes which are available inside bootstrap.min.css. Bootstrap has so many classes, guys. Hundreds of classes are there. We are going to take help of those classes and create a good looking responsive website, guys. Okay. Now we understood how to test whether the bootstrap.min.css is properly linked to our HTML page or not. Right? Good. Next thing is to link the jQuery.min.js, guys. We know that Bootstrap is built on top of jQuery library. So we have to link the jQuery also, right? To do that, I'm going to take help of the script tag and you see jQuery.min.js is inside the jQuery folder, guys. Okay. We are going to copy this code from here, Control C to copy, and we paste that code just before the closing body tag. So here inside the body tag I paste that code. Okay, and I'll show that. If you see here in the jQuery folder we have jQuery.min.js. So in the jQuery folder we have jQuery.min.js. So we linked that, right? CSS files we link with link tag, JavaScript files we link with script tag. Good. Next we have to test whether the jQuery library is linked properly or not. Okay, next we have to test whether jQuery.min.js properly linked to the HTML page or not. To do that, what I am going to do here, I am going to use script tag, opening script and closing script tag, and then I say here type is equal to text or JavaScript. So inside this we can write our own JavaScript code, right? First I am going to call the jQuery function. So I say dollar indicates jQuery. I am calling the jQuery function. You see inside this we can pass any CSS selector which help us to select the HTML elements, guys. Here I say input, which is a tag selector. So I am telling here select the HTML element with the name input. This HTML element has the name input. What I want to hide it. So I am calling the hide function which is available inside the jQuery library. To hide it should take 2000 milliseconds. Okay, to hide this input button it should take 2000 milliseconds. That means 2 seconds. If I say file, save, go to browser and refresh, you can see that the button is getting hidden. That means the jQuery is also properly linked, guys. This is how we can test whether the jQuery is linked properly or not. Awesome, right? What is the next step? We know that Bootstrap is built on top of Popper.js also, right? So we have to link the Popper.min.js and Bootstrap.min.js to our HTML page. Most of the Bootstrap poppers, that is tooltips, popovers, dropdowns, modals, are handled using Popper.js library, guys. So we have to link the Popper.js to our HTML page. Very simple. I am going to copy this code from here and paste after the jQuery.min.js code. Okay. After that, what I do? I link the Bootstrap also. Copy and paste here. You can see here in the Popper folder we have Popper.min.js. That's the reason I am writing here in the Popper folder Popper.min.js file is there. Please link it. And you can see in the Bootstrap folder we have JS folder. In the JS folder we have Bootstrap.min.js file. So we are linking that here. In the Bootstrap folder we have JS folder. In that Bootstrap.min.js file is there. Please link that. Okay, and you have to maintain this order, guys. Bootstrap is built on top of Popper.js and jQuery library. So you must and should add in this order only. So we have successfully linked the Popper.js as well as Bootstrap.js file. We have to test whether Popper.js as well as the Bootstrap.js are linked properly or not. Okay, whether they are linked. So for that, what I am going to do is I am going to add a title attribute to this button saying HTML is a structural language. Okay, so very simple. To this button I am adding the title attribute, title, title equal to, I am saying here HTML is a structural language, full stop. What is the use of title attribute, guys? When we move the mouse over the button, this title content appears as the tooltip. If I say file, save, go to browser and refresh, when I move the mouse over this button, you see we are getting HTML is a structural language popping up as a tooltip, right? But this tooltip is not looking good, right? We have to make it look good. So for that I am going to add some code. I am going to say here data-bs-toggle, that is an attribute, data-bootstrap toggle equal to, the value should be tooltip. Okay, so this title should toggle like a tooltip. That's what a simple meaning if I have to say. If I say file, save, go to browser and refresh and move the mouse over, you can see still it is not stylized, right? We have to make it look proper with a proper styling. For that we need a little bit JavaScript code, which is from the Popper.js and Bootstrap. We need this code, guys. I'm going to copy this code and paste it here inside the script tag. Okay, very simple code we have here. What we are doing here is we are accessing the HTML elements which have the attribute data.bs toggle with the value tooltip. So this HTML element has data.bs toggle attribute with the value tooltip. We are accessing all the elements which are having this attribute called data.bs toggle with the value tooltip. So this is going to be an array. Okay, and then we are telling for each tooltip in the tooltips list, okay, array, for each tooltip in the tooltips array, we are calling a tooltip with this tooltip we are passing. We are calling the bootstrap.tooltip function and we are passing that tooltip. So this code automatically pops up the tooltip, okay, this title on the screen with some styling. If I say file, save, go to browser and refresh, this time if I move the mouse over on this button, we get the tooltip appearing nicely with the background color black, and then you can see there's a small triangle on the left side here, right, and the text is getting displayed in the white color. So that's all happening because of the Popper.js and Bootstrap.min.js here. If I remove the Popper.min.js and Bootstrap.min.js, Control X and save, go back to the browser and refresh, you don't see the stylized tooltip, right? So if you want to get that tooltip working properly, definitely you need these two links here. If I say file, save, go to browser and refresh, again we get the nice tooltip popping up. So remember, most of the Bootstrap poppers, that is tooltips, popovers, drop down, modals, etc. are handled using Popper.js. So you need to put the Popper.js link, right, that you are linking. It should be before the Bootstrap.min.js, guys. So you have to maintain this order. That's it, guys, for this video tutorial. I hope you guys have clearly understood how to add Bootstrap to your website. Very simple. Just paste the jQuery folder, Popper folder and Bootstrap folder to your root folder, and then just make your page mobile friendly, and in the head section add the link to bootstrap.min.css file. Just before the closing body tag, add the link to jQuery.min.js and then Popper.min.js, then Bootstrap.min.js. Then start adding your HTML code and stylize it with the help of classes available in the Bootstrap. And if any pop-ups are there, then you need some JavaScript code, right? Yeah, that's it. That's it, guys. Okay, try this. I'm going to delete this code from here, which we don't need in the next class. I'm going to delete this code. So I just save this. This much is enough. From the next class onwards, we are going to discuss more about Bootstrap step by step. I suggest you people to try this, guys. If you like this video, hit the like button and share with your friends so that everyone will get benefited. For more benefits and be up to date, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Keep learning, keep coding, keep sharing. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial.